All right, guys. So today I am interviewing Will. And Will, this has been a long time coming
Yes.
to have you on the interview. Pleasure. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it to be on with us. Let's jump right into it. Why not? All right. So you had joined the program a little bit back, and I guess what were you doing right before you joined the program?
So right before I joined the program, me and my business partner, we had already been recruiting for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but we were missing a lot of pieces. I had a background in corporate America, did a lot of recruiting in corporate America as a manager, but that wasn't my primary function. And I really noticed that there were a lot of gaps in talent, and I thought that we could do a really good job for our clients if we were able to fill those. So we started, but we didn't have all the pieces. We were missing pieces of the puzzle. Starting the program allowed us to fill in those pieces. We knew how to conduct interviews. We knew how to evaluate talent. We weren't really great about getting clients. And no matter
Yeah.
how good you are at evaluating talent, we didn't have a real process. The program gave us a process and also told us that we had to do maybe 10 times more than what we were doing. We're making one or two calls a week. And
Mm-hmm.
we really learned how to automate that and make it regular and be able to do it repeatably. We got 40 clients within our first 12 months after taking the program, which was amazing for us. It was a number that I didn't think was
Incredible.
possible. And it allowed us to really start growing the business.
Mm-hmm. 40 clients. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of clients. And obviously every single one of them didn't pan out, right? I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? To be cheesy about it. But that's how it is, right? But that's a lot of client. I mean, since getting into the program, right, you put structure to it, and then you ended up with 40 clients on your hands all of a
Yeah.
sudden. So that's amazing. So I guess let's talk about revenue from the clients. So when you started the program, you kind of were putting the puzzle pieces together. The client acquisition was flowing, 40 clients and whatnot. Let's talk since the program and all that. What's the revenue look like since you joined the program?
Yeah. First 12 months after the program, we did about 250, a little
Okay,
under that. And then last year, we also did another 250. So we're about a half a million in
half a million.
since we did the program. And, definitely when we started, if you had told me that I was going to get a $500,000 of return of investment, I would have probably bought it 6 months earlier when we first started the business.
Right. Yeah, that's incredible. That's a big number. And I love to hear it. And bravo to you and your partner, of course, because obviously a lot of work went into that. So, with that being said, I guess you were not working, like you said, a 9 to 5. You were all in on this. I mean, and your partner, same thing, all in, right?
Yeah, yeah. Our first couple of months, I was working a 9 to 5, but once we signed our first contract, I wanted to go all in, and that's
Mm,
what I was able to do. And it was a big step, a big jump. You don't immediately get checks when you start working Rex, right? It takes a little
right.
bit of time, but we were able to get it rocking pretty quickly.
Right. Okay. What in the program, like without divulging all the secrets, right? You know what I mean? What in the program was your biggest, like, what's the biggest takeaway of that? We kind of talked about the structure, and the elements of basically the accountability and kind of that kind of thing. What was the biggest takeaway for you that really got you to the 40 clients and the half a million? What was it in the program?
The biggest thing was having a rhythm, right? You
Okay.
have to have a rhythm of sending out information. You have to have automation. You cannot do it by yourself. You have to have good automation. And then also using the tools on LinkedIn and other tools to be able to expand your reach. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing how many people you can interact with in a week when you have those tools working in your favor. But the biggest thing is tracking it too. You have to
Mm-hmm.
have ability to know how am I doing, because you're always busy. And especially when you have a job order, your first thought is, I have a job order. Let me stop and work this job order. You cannot do that. You have to be
Right.
able to walk and chew gum.
Absolutely. The biz dev side and the candidate and recruitment side, they've got to be hand in hand,
Yep.
right? And I mean, if one slows down, and you've already placed some roles, hey, if you haven't been up on biz dev getting new clients, you're in trouble for a little bit until you do get those clients. Yeah, running automation, running those things, super super important. I love it. I love it. I love the way you guys kind of scaled that and took it to the moon basically. And you're probably on a pretty good trajectory at this point for 2022, I'd say.
Yeah, we're starting off with it's going to be the wintertime for us because our business is mostly during the summer is always a little dicey. But the biggest thing is the biz dev. We're already 13 clients in 2022. And these are new clients, new job recs. Some of them will be great and we'll make a lot of money with, and we'll be able to serve them well. Some of them won't. I mean, just the nature of the business. But we're looking at it at about a client a week. That's a great run rate for any year.
Yes, definitely, most definitely. And you guys are focused on tracking KPIs like that too, which is funny because I'll be doing a YouTube video about KPIs and tracking. So you're ahead of the game. But yeah, no, that's incredibly important. Sometimes even more important than the action itself, because the data is almost more important than, you know what I mean? Knowing what's wrong and knowing how to fix it first, so you don't waste time doing things that aren't fruitful, is imperative, kind of, and to your success, at least I'd say. So you guys have done things real, real well. So I guess, one of the main questions I ask everybody, right, is what do you tell somebody that's looking to they're on the fence, they want to get into recruiting? What would you tell them?
I would say, first of all, if you're going to get into recruiting, you have to be disciplined. You have to make sure that, rain, shine, if you can get up and pick up the phone, it's a good time to pick up the phone. If you use the automation, respond to candidates. So you have to have that discipline. The second thing is get a coach, get somebody that can teach you. If you haven't been a recruiter, and actually I would say either way, because even if you are a recruiter, there are different sides to the business. It's not just picking up the phone and talking to people. You have to be able to listen to clients and really listen to what the clients are saying. I always say read between the lines of a job description, because there's a reason why they're calling you. They have pain. If you can add value and fulfill and get rid of that pain, they're coming back.
Yep, 100%. Obviously, I co-sign on all that. And, there's a reason, right? I mean, there's a reason you have a recruitment experience and you've been doing, recruitment experience before you started your agency and all that, and then got it to full steam. We're doing an agency, but in the middle, in between, there's so many gaps to fill, right? And there's a learning curve. And essentially, the way I see it is I teach and preach that there's always a learning curve, but how do we flatten the curve? Right. And that's where you mentioned a mentor or a coach, et cetera, and all that kind of stuff, which is really what I try to provide in value wise, flattening the curve, making it so that you can go from X amount to X amount in a shorter period of time than you would have if you're just trying it alone, type of thing, So pleasure having you on, Will. I really appreciate taking the time to interview you. Any parting thoughts? Any last words?
Well, one thing I will say, never forget to continuously sharpen the sword. So even no matter what your initial goals are, if you achieve them, if you exceed them, always remember to invest time in sharpening the sword, becoming better at the craft. And it's one of those things that it doesn't take long in this game to fall behind. And if you do, it's tougher to catch up than it is to keep up.
That's right. I love that. Well spoken, perfectly put. I like it a lot. So, all right, man, I really appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll be hopping on again and seeing where you're at the end of 2022, let's say, and we'll do another interview. All right.
Thanks, Ben.
All right. Thank you, Will. Appreciate it.